Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Halo Forge Showcase. So today, we have a pretty special episode because we are in, you probably can't tell, but we are in Halo PC. And I'm playing on a controller because this port is not the best, it's not the worst, but it's a universal Windows app, so it kind of runs weird. But this will be the first episode you will see Halo 5 in full 1080p glory. Of course, I could run this at fucking like 4K, but I'm running on a 1080p monitor, and it won't let you downsample, unfortunately. So we're running on maximum frame rate, sync to 60. I'd love to run this on my ultra-wide monitor, but like I said, the port is not up to snuff yet. Still waiting on that custom game browser, but I have been enjoying it. And unfortunately, some of these maps I won't be showing off, I think, have been putting into matchmaking, which is not the unfortunate thing. It's that I've ran out of Xbox Live Gold for the time being, and I've been so busy with PC gaming and music production stuff that I haven't even touched online on my Xbox. So this will be my chance to see some of this awesome content that's been made. Like, the Forge community has blown up with PC, which is fantastic because I knew you'd be able to do so much more with this update and with keyboard and mouse controls. So there's going to be some awesome shit here. I'm going to stick to my usual 3 an episode. But if this continues to spiral as much as it has, we may bump it up to 4 or 5, because in order to get through some of these that I really want to in a timely manner, we may have to do that. Which will mean that I miss more stuff, inevitably, like I have been. Matter of fact, I don't know that we'll have time to go back and revisit some of these really good maps that I showed off that I just didn't know how they worked, because I'm playing them in Forge and not their custom game mode. So another thing to mention is that there's like a lot of really cool maps out there that people have welded like vehicles together. They've made fucking pod racers out of them. They made drivable stuff, and we're still focusing on maps. So racetracks, regular free-for-all, big team battle, infection maps. I'm focusing on, you know, standalone maps that can hold their own, not necessarily cool Forge creations, which is also nice. But that's not really what this series is trying to cover. I'm trying to showcase like really nice maps that you would play custom games on and stuff, which is even more relevant now that this update's dropped, and once the browser and all that gets put in, it'll be even better. So, without further ado, let's jump into Halo 5 Forge on PC with Transcendence. This is another race map. I've pre-played this one. It ought to be, if I can actually drive the damn thing, it'll actually be quite nice. So let's check it out. Alright, there we go. It should be mentioned that even on a mere 7,200 RPM drive, this is so much faster to bake the lights, going from monitor to Spartan. Alright, so, like I said, I drove this map once, and I'm not good at it by any means, but it is so beautiful and so smooth that I just knew I had to show it off. And this was like the first day Forge came out on PC. Like, I'm going to crash here a million times. I know I am. But they lay out the gravity and everything so well. The reflections are just insane on some of this. So this probably wouldn't hurt just to give you a full flyover. I mean, look how ridiculously intricate some of this stuff is. Some of it doesn't look like you should even be able to make it. It's like looking at Rayquaza in the sky or something. They also do some very cool stuff with teleporting. Light maps up to 194%. I wouldn't be surprised if this runs like absolute garbage on Xbox One, but you know, I'm playing on a very overkill PC for this game, and it runs just fine. If you're wondering, my PC is a i7 2600K. I won't go ahead and kill myself, which is sad that a 5-year-old processor runs better than a Xbox's processor, but GTX 980 Ti, 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and no SSD, just hard drive. So I could run this game in 4K, but like I said, you're locked to your monitor's resolution because of this being a Universal Windows app. So yeah, let's see if we can make it this time. Beep beep. This map kind of reminds me, this is the smoothness of I don't remember if you guys played Halo 3. There was an infamous track called Cherry Kiss, and it was amazing. I guarantee you they modded it, but it was so smooth using nothing but, like, you know, rough angled stone. Like, that effect is so cool. It looks like you're going to slip space. I mean, look at that. That is so trippy. The reflections are so nice looking. And nice little god ray there, some smoke. Some of these curves can be perilous. I think I've completed this like twice. Oh boy, look at that. and some of that can wreck you. I've had that happen. It's not the first time. You got to hit it just right. Let's back her up. Oh boy. Alright. Let's hit this again. Piggy! Oh boy, did you see that? So they mess with gravity to, you know, give you a little loop-de-loop. It just looks so cool. Not to mention that Halo PC, you get some really easy gamer score. I already have like 500 and I played for a couple hours in custom games. I could do a couple more things in Forge and I'll pretty much have almost all of them, but just pro tip. Oh boy, lost complete camera control, but saved it. Yeah, this is just a really more of like a tech demo map. I feel like someone else could really, yeah, I think we're back at the beginning now. Could take this concept and make even something even better. But aesthetically, it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just look how high up we are. Like, it's nuts. And I don't even really know what map we're on, to tell you the truth. And now that you can actually add thumbnails to stuff, it's hard to say. This is absolutely crazy. But yeah, awesome map. I knew as soon as I played this one that we had to show it off. And still, damn mouse cursor's in the way, but we'll deal with that later. I guess we could sit through these and figure out which one we're on, but I don't really care all that much right now. But yeah, crazy map. Cool as hell reflections. I really like what they did with some of the anti-grav stuff to make you do, you know, barrel rolls. And I mean, just look at that texture. That is super cool. All right, excellent job. So the only bad thing I don't like about these thumbnails is you guys get to see the map, you know, the same time I do. I kind of like to, you know, save it. But this is called Storm's End. It's kind of like that monastery map that we looked at before, but not really. And you know, we'll just hop in and I'll let you see for yourself. But it's pretty cool. I'm going to tell you right now, this map is excellent for using audio cues. So we have a awesome cannon here, and yes, that is at the end the Halo Magnum, which is basically a hand cannon, so it's super fitting. Yeah, that I loved that, and you only get a full magazine, which if you can't get a couple kills off of that, you're bad. But yeah, like I said, sweet audio cues. You got, you know, flies buzzing around, some tropical bird in the background. This is something that I will, if I host custom games, whenever we get the browser, I will definitely be hosting something on this. I do remember seeing a commenter saying, if you ever do play custom games, let me know. Don't worry, I've not forgot about that. I've been waiting on this, to be completely honest, and since we'll be able to, you know, crossplay on PC and Xbox One, it's not a big deal. But yeah, this is kind of like a French Bastille, or I don't know, maybe you could call it maybe like an Italian Castello. I don't really know what you would call it, but it's very, you know, revolutionary, you know, 1600 to 1700-esque feeling. And this little generator here. And it kind of feels like a World War I, World War II era map, even though, you know, there's fucking sci-fi weapons and 1800 to 1700 artillery pieces, but it just feels like something you would play on World at War, or, you know, the old Medal of Honors or something like that. So I just get that vibe from it. I very much like the look of it. Get a nice little shortcut here down into the cellar. I ran around in this once, but I hardly remember much. I think the weapon layout is also what makes me feel like this is like this map should fit on an older game, or even an arena, like a straight up arena shooter like Unreal Tournament. I think it would fit really well. So it's not huge, but this would be a great free for all map. I feel like 4 versus 4, it might get a little hectic, but it kind of gives me the same vibe as Ghost Town, so it might fit actually. And awesome fly sounds around a dead body. Anything cool over here, but yeah, I absolutely think it could fit, and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it, I think, for the most part. You got a few assault rifles laying around, and get a couple more spots for a vertical advantage. But But for the most part, that's it. But really, really cool aesthetic. I knew I had to show it off just because of what they were able to do with. We'll do a flyover. What they were able to do with the. I keep hitting it up on the D-pad. That's why you're hearing that sound. With the structures here, just like I said, looks very Bastille-ish. And of course, they had some, no fly zones or whatever those are actual called. A blocker block. Very technical word. Let's see what it looks like from afar without these damn blocker blocks in the way. But Preacher, I wonder why that's there. Maybe the guy that made it was named Preacher. I keep forgetting to read off the names of the people who do them. I take no credit for these. I just want to show off some awesome work. Nice little torture cage here. What we have here: Dead Elite, Dead Grunt. Nice. Yeah, I just love the aesthetic of this map. It looks very, French Bastille looking, and what they're able to do with some, unappeasing looking forge pieces, and then put them together and make just a super lifelike, organic map is amazing. I will never not be impressed by this kind of stuff. So yeah, very, very well done on this. And I will definitely be hosting this map whenever the custom game server browser, that is, comes out. So really, really cool. Oh, there's a weapon there. We almost missed that. Check that out. I wonder if it's a scatter shot or something. Shotgun. Ain't that fucking neat. There's probably more stuff in here that I've missed, but you get the idea. Go check it out for yourself if you're interested. Last map for today is Scavenger, and I really don't like that I can't see the damn, the reason you're not seeing it is because this bookmark thing is broken. Like, you can't scroll down, and even when I go to page 2 of 6, it's the same shit, and you're getting spoilers of what's happening. So Commander Coulson made this one, but that needs fixing among other things in this port. So yeah, let's check this one out. I think it might even be a little bit like some of the wreckage with in Halo, like the beginning of Halo 4, but don't count me on that. I'm just, from the thumbnails I've seen, that's my first intuition going in. Okie dokie. So this is a blind first time me getting in here, and boy, is this sounds atmospheric, to say the least. I'm gonna just traverse this without a vehicle at first, to see what it's all about, and then we'll drive around and see what it's like. I have a feeling this is big team battle oriented. Oh, got a gravity hammer, so I'm guessing from the name Scavenger we're going to have all kinds of random weapons. Yeah, see, we've seen Promethean, Base Covenant, and Brute weapons all in, vicinity of each other, so yeah, I'm getting a very Halo 4 crash site feel from this. I doubt that's what it actually is. And this kind of reminds me of a Halo 4 DLC map, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. And I only played it a couple times in. I can't remember if I even had that one in the DLC I bought on 360. I might have just played it on the Master Chief Collection, because I didn't buy. If it was in the last pack, I didn't play it. If it was in the one before, I have, because I perfected the game up until the last DLC, because I thought that stupid game mode they shipped in it was just a waste of money. But it does give me that vibe. I don't remember what the map's called, and if it's not a remake, it's a spiritual successor to it. But oh, look at that. I just love animation. Like, it doesn't matter how complex or simple it is. I just love that shit. Yeah. But it was very much like this, although not nearly as, I don't think, 3D. It wasn't as much of a disparity between the upper and lower levels. So, I'm pretty, 95% certain this is original, but that's just the vibe I was getting off of it. Any reason to include the Halo 2 BR is a good one for me. And I'll go back down a little bit. Little spanker rockets. Get a +1 in my book, good sir. And this one, no, I think it's the same one. There was a bunch of new weapons in here that we'll go over at the end of this map, because I'm too excited not to show them off. Let's do a quick run through here. I think this one would be fun. This is like asymmetrical. It's like it's fucking amazing driving on my part. Kind of like a Battlefield map. In that sense, obviously no levolution or anything. Cool cave lighting. Quite a fan of that. And obviously, engines and stuff sitting around. Yeah, this definitely has the aesthetic of whatever that class of Forward Unto Dawn was. I used to remember all the class of ships and all that shit, but I have too many other actually important things to remember, so you got to make room somewhere. Yeah, this is cool. Is that a maximum damage or whatever they call it in this game? Nope. Those would be splinter nades. Yeah, I like this map. I like the water. The sound effects are very well used. I could definitely see some of this being like distracting in an actual game, but it's not overbearing or anything. It's just I'm used to the just stone silent maps of the Reach days, so it's still something I got to get used to a little bit. But very cool. Good weapon selection, good vehicle selection and placement, I feel like, and nice red versus blue imagery in some different parts of the map. Good contrast. Definitely looks like an old wreckage. They did they did that perfectly, I would say. So before we end off this episode completely, I had to go through here and show everyone the new weapons just in case you hadn't seen. So none of these maps featured any of these as far as I can tell, but we're going to go through them and I want to show them to you anyway because they're just too damn cool. So everyone knows, got the standard Magnum and stuff, but they've included a few. So this is the Gunfighter Magnum. Has no trigger guard, but you can shoot it a lot faster. And other than that, it looks pretty much the same in your hand. A couple little minor differences, but for the most part, that's about it. So I'll drop all of these and we'll shoot all of them, but it ought to be pretty cool. So I'm trying to remember how the fuck to drop this normally. There we go. That's how we're going to do it. You have the Tactical Magnum, which, if you're a Halo 3 ODST fan like I am, and there's apparently only 3 of us, even though I thought that was a pretty damn good game myself, it's the Suppressed Magnum, and it even has the zoom-in sight. And I'm really hoping that people take this and the Suppressed SMG and make ODST game modes out of it, because I love Firefight, and that's something I was really pissed off about. They didn't port it to Xbox One's MCC when they ported, ODST, because I loved base Firefight. But I always thought it kind of deserved a versus mode as well. So I'm hoping that with this they can bring that in there. I think that would be really damn cool. So yeah, we'll drop that. I'm kind of been a while since I've used this, but everyone knows the Whispered Truth. So the Tactical Magnum is kind of this minus the suppressor and the overpoweredness. So if you haven't used it, it's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll delete that. So let's use these bad boys for a minute. So Tactical Magnum, as you see, you shoot really quickly, reload fast. I don't know how it is accuracy-wise, but it looks like it's better than the base Magnum. I'm sure this is a requisition that you can get, and this is the same Magnum with a trigger guard over it, and then the suppressor and zoom in sight just from ODST. And it does have a very satisfying suppressive but percussive sound to it. It doesn't look exactly like the ODST Magnum. It's more along the because it's not the Halo 2 Magnum, but it's pretty close to it. And man, I'll take whatever I can get because it is fantastic. Of course, like I said, when you take that and combine it with this thing, I mean, it's not the exact SMG type because it's not the one from the, that reloads from the side, but I mean, come on, man. That's an ODST game type right there. That would be so fun. I feel like they could do a, survival, tactical type thing with it. So, yeah, really, really cool there. They also did a couple more different types of spankers. So you got the Spanker Prime and stuff, which is just ridiculous. You move, quickly, and I guess that's what it is from the screen, or you get fucking overshields. I don't even know what all effects you have. Either way, this thing is ridiculous. The main thing to be really, I think there might have been a couple yeah, you got brute plasma rifles and stuff, but I think that was a while ago. And you get a couple of cool legendary ones. Sorrow, like the standard one, of course. Don't know, why it took them a while for that, but I think that was in a other update. But a couple different one of these. I don't like that one's ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure that was from another one. This one is new, however. Tartarus's gavel. Of course, it doesn't actually look like Tartarus's hammer, but holy shit, it does act like it from Halo 2. So that's really cool. The newest major addition, though, are hunter arms. So, yeah. They're pickup turrets, and it's literally the arm off of a hunter. So, this is genius. I want to say these were in custom edition on PC, but don't quote me on that. At least something like this was. Obviously, you had the fuel rod cannon was, but I want to say there was a pickup turret, something like that, just like there was with the... what was it? The flamethrower. That's what it was. And then you have the different one that shoots a beam instead, I think. Yep. Oh, no, this one's the cannon itself, not the multi-shot. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Like I said, none of the maps that we visited today featured any of those, but I have a feeling we'll be seeing more and more of them as time goes on. So yeah, wish list for those of you in the community that watch this. Give me an ODST game mode, and I would be super happy about it, especially versus, like, using brute weapons and whatever you can do. I want something that's ODST, and everyone uses Nightfall armor. That would be absolutely sick. So, yeah, awesome map. I trashed it with all these different legendary weapons, but yeah, I had to show it off because I was super happy about that. All right, boys and girls, that'll do it today for Halo Forge map showcase. Thanks for joining us. We saw some really good stuff today. There's a lot of awesome stuff that I'm really excited to show off here in the coming weeks. Like I said, if the frequency of amazing content picks up like I think it's going to, we might increase these episode lengths, because I still plan to do these once a week and not make this like I'm the damn Forge channel, you know what I mean? So we'll just have to see what happens, but both on PC and on console with this new Forge update, there's been some amazing stuff that's happening, and it's made my wish list keep growing. So stay tuned, and stay in touch, because whenever the custom game browser comes out, I'll definitely let you know about it, and hopefully I can start, hosting some stuff myself, because I love Halo 5 Online on console, but what I really wanted it in the bread and butter of Halo games to me is custom games, especially with amazing Forge assets and being able to do all these cool game modes. It's just, that's my shit. So, yeah, we'll see you next week with more of this, or the week after, depending on what comes out, and thanks for watching. Thank you for all those that make this awesome content so we can do this all the time. See you next time. Bye-bye.